but I think we'll get us started. First, as always, thank you so much for taking time out of your really busy days to be part of CALA's town hall. My name is Nicole Scavone, and I'm the CALA president. And we are really excited to give you some updates on some things we've been working on, but also the chat box is open down below. If you have some questions, please let us know, and we'll see if we can answer them for you on this call. And if we can't, we will definitely get the answers for you. I will be also having a lot of the other board members kind of catch you up real quick on what they've been doing. But first, I'll kind of catch you up on some of our exciting things that I've been working on. One, we are looking at having a spring conference. We have asked the health department to join us, as well as Medicaid. We are going to break it up into either 2 or 3 smaller sessions so that it's easier for individuals to attend, because I know we're all busy and can't really take full days out of our schedule to join a conference. It is going to be an exciting online conference format that Peter's really been working on. We'll still have all of our associate members available to get to speak with them and learn about all the new products and some of the things that we might need to look at to become compliant with the new regs. So we're really excited for that. So please, what we really want to do is hear from all of you regarding education that you might want to see at the conference, so that we can start to line up speakers. So that's partly what I've been working on, as well as just some general updates. We are excited to be building our relationship with the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment again. Myself and Janelle will be having bi-weekly meetings with representatives from the department. And today I also got in contact with HCPF, and we now have a contact person at HCPF to submit questions and concerns of any type. So please send those to CALA, and we will get them on our agenda for our meeting with the health department or with Medicaid, and then we'll email you everyone out those responses. You might also be seeing some of those answers come through on Tidbit Tuesdays. So as we learn little bits of information that we need to pass on to make sure we're all on the same page and compliant for our upcoming Chapter 7 surveys or Medicaid surveys, we will, or anything new with COVID, just watch your emails. Tuesday's Tidbit Tuesday, plus we're also been sending out reminders when there's updates to the public health order and to the checklist. We are excited. We did hear from the Capitol that there is a proposed 2.5% across the board increase for Medicaid that the Joint Budget Commission is looking at. This hasn't been approved yet, but it does have a lot of support, so that's positive. The increase would go into effect July 1st. Let's see, I think that's about all of my little tidbits. So I'm going to turn it over to Janelle and let Janelle kind of update you on some fun, great things she's been doing.
Hey, Nicole, did you say 2.5%?
I did say 2.5%, which I know we lost 1%. So really we're gaining 1.5%. But I think a lot of us were just surprised to see an increase of any kind, period. So, yeah.
Well, hello, everybody. It's good to see everybody here. I'm really excited. I mean, it's just a whole new board, and I think you all know we just kind of been working really hard on getting a lot of stuff done. We have, as you know, we got the extension for the BOH, the Board of Health for 6 months. And like Nicole said, we'll be working with CDPHE, which I'm really excited about. They're really open to working with us and having us talk with them about the struggles that we're all going through and strategize us with ways to work on that. And one of the things we will be discussing with them will be the plan of corrections and the the amount of time it takes for them to get them to us and the amount of time we have to get them done. So I'm pretty excited about that. But we're looking for members. You know, I think it's more power in numbers. We're working on some exciting things with the Capitol and legislation that will benefit us all, I think, a lot. And I think if we can all get on the same page, that would be great. Right now, what we're doing is everybody's kind of been seeing our Tidbit Tuesdays come through that have been a lot of fun, and we've had a lot of positive input on that. And we also now are doing our membership at a discounted rate. And that rate is $100 plus $5 per bed. And that will be all the way through March 31st. And Tidbit Tuesday will also go through all the way for non-members through March 31st. Our goal is to get more members, you know, so we can have more numbers when we go up against either working for, you know, more or less working for the small assisted livings and the large assisted livings, whether it's with legislation or CDPHE. You know, the more numbers that we have, the more they're going to listen. I know that I was out there flailing by myself, trying to get things done, and getting together with this group has been great because we've all been able to bounce stuff off of each other, and we've gotten a lot more done than we would have gotten by ourselves. So I'm just really, you know, I'm excited about that. The CALA website's going to be great. We're going to have a sample survey that's going to be on there. It won't be everything on a survey, but it's going to be a sample survey. So you'll be able to access that and look at it and say, okay, at least I've got a pretty good idea of everything that they're going to be looking for. Like Nicole said, we're going to be posting some more of the new rules that we're going to have to be in compliance with that maybe used to be 99s. And so we want to post some of those so everybody's a little bit more prepared, you know, more prepared for that. So we're going to have a question and answer board also on the site where you can get on there, and it's going to be kind of a forum. You know, you might get, you know, we're going to try and answer questions that you have or anything we can help with. You know, we just want to join together and help each other so that we can be successful, you know, successful for us, successful for our residents, and keep in compliance at the same time. So that's kind of where we're, you know, that's kind of where we're at right now. Rachel, I don't know if there's anything that you want to, if you want to add to that.
Hi, everybody. First of all, I want to say thank you, everybody, for being here and involved today. I think all of us, every one of us, including myself, we're on the board for a reason. All of us are administrators. We are owners of these assisted living homes, and we are all working towards the same intentions of doing better for our industry and getting people connected with other resources that are valuable to our business. And just so you guys all know, we are also volunteers on this board. So, you know, work with us and allow us to help you. And exactly what Janelle said, we're really out there. We're calling people. We're trying to bring people on board. We're excited to have associate members on as well and trying to gain more visibility with, you know, people who want to use their businesses as a way to extend the resources available to us in the small business. So no, I think the membership, you know, now is a great time. We have a really great discount to join right now. So please, this is the opportunity to do it. And then we'll be renewing in July as well. So thank you. And I'm looking forward to chatting with all of you.
Sorry, I always have a hard time unmuting myself. I would love to pass this on to Lyle, who has kind of a little bit of a tidbit regarding billing for the increase that we're getting currently with Medicaid for the next several months.
Yes, Medicaid sent out a memo earlier last month and said that we're getting a $5.19 I don't know what you call it, overtime, like we did last April, May, and June. It's going to last 3 months, just like the other one. I submitted my first claim on the 1st, and I checked with the claim number, and it did not show the $5.19 as being paid. So I called them up, and they told me that the 519 will be paid. They don't know when, but put it on your claim as a second line with a T1 and a, excuse me, with a U1 and a TU. And at some point they will pay it. So be sure to keep that on there, put that on the second line so you get paid for a little stipend that they gave us. Otherwise, you will have to go in and, as you know, have to void your claim and then file a new claim, and that takes time and it's a pain in the butt. So anyway, that's what I have for you guys today. Also, please join CALA. We're doing a lot of work, and when we go to the legislature with our legislation that we need everybody to show up at the Capitol. If we show numbers and we crowd the halls and they can't even get people in the room, that shows people that we're really serious and that we really care about what we're doing. Because the health department is going to put their best shot to shoot down whatever we're doing. So we have to really be together and work together on this. And we can use more volunteers to do some of the legwork, and that would also help out. So thank you for being here today, and we're growing and we're looking forward to doing bigger and better things. Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you, Lyle. I would like to get a little bit of an update from Tamara, because I don't see Janet on the call. Tamara, would you like to update us on all the fun things you've been doing?
You're on mute, Tamara.
Let's try again. I had the same problem. Hi, everybody. Thanks for being on the call. Great to see so many people on the call today. My role in CALA is working on associate relationships with other organizations such as GDPRA, HCA, Leading Age, ROLNA, and the Denver ALR group, and that's been going pretty well. I've been attending meetings as I can with all of those entities and really looking at collaborating on multiple issues with them. I do have some news, and I'm going to let Christine Willis bring that up for us regarding some information from a legislative standpoint. So Christine, if you want to go forward.
Sure, thank you, Tamara. So I spoke to Senator Janal, and unfortunately, the late status bill on senior housing issues that she submitted was declined by leadership. And it is leadership ultimately that makes the final decision. So she's talking to them about why that happened. And she wants to encourage everyone to contact President Garcia's office and Senator Fenberg's office, call them, email them. Again, we're talking about showing numbers, show them that you want to see this legislation. So as many phone calls and emails as we can potentially get them to reconsider that decision about the late status bill. And I will post websites with contact information for both of those offices in the chat.
That'd be great. Thank you. So just to update on that, CALA has been working with really trying to look at some way to, I guess, bypass the health department, if you will, for now. We've tried getting legislation changed to support the small industry and really looking at the onerous regulations. And for 2 years, we've been battling that on top of the 3 years prior to that. And we weren't really getting anywhere. So we've been working with Senator Janal in trying to get some support from a legislative standpoint. And we were hoping to create a bill to propose to the legislature, and we were going to do a late bill. And so the goal of that is to really look at the separation of small assisted living from the cookie cutter mentality that we are the same as the big guys. And so Christina's posting those emails. So if you guys could let them know that you understand that CALA is trying to work with Senator Janal on a late bill, and that you would really support of that bill in the essence of the sustainability. Put in a lot of work, probably about 15 hours on this bill.
Tammy, you're cutting in and out really
Really
bad
trying
right now.
to work at it from a different angle than we have. It must be my internet.
Yes.
Well, I'll type in the chat then.
I think it's because
Thank you.
I think it's because you're zooming in from Hawaii. Isn't that where you, isn't that
I
where you are?
wish. I wish.
Okay, just checking.
So I'll give you a little bit more of an update regarding CALA has had the ear of the strike force for a couple of months now, and we have had meetings in regards to COVID. Today was kind of one of our last meetings as things are starting to settle down. We could always have one of those if we needed though. And some of the things that we were updated on, other than we do know that we should be getting information regarding sending curative supplies back by the end of this week. He did preface that by saying everything we think is going to happen in a time frame usually takes longer. So I'm expecting we'll hear something this week. If we don't hear something by the middle of next week, I will reach out again to the health department to see what the status is on that. He also did add that watch EMR resource, and when you go on daily to enter your data, they will be adding a couple of questions regarding vaccinations. They are trying to pull together some data to see how many staff and residents, like percentage-wise, are being vaccinated. Again, this has nothing to do with being compliant or not compliant on our end. They're just really looking for the data. When they get the information from Walgreens or CVS, it's really not separated into residents and staff, and they would really like to see if they can get that data. So just be watching for that. Let's see. We still don't have any changes in guidance of what life's going to look like after all of our staff and clients are vaccinated. He continues to ask the CDC, and even went to the extent of asking the Colorado epidemiologist when maybe Colorado should look at guidance and not wait for the CDC. But he was basically told they're going to wait for the CDC right now. We also learned that after the second vaccine, it does take approximately 2 weeks for you to reach that 95% protection from the virus. And so I know everybody's just waiting with bated breath to resume life to some level previously, but he shared that today was the last vaccination clinic for assisted livings in the state of Colorado. So he was excited that everybody's kind of entered into the home stretch. So we're all hoping there'll be guidance by March regarding the next steps post-COVID and visitation and all those types of fun things. So we'll be sharing that with you. We've also asked that they start making sure to push this stuff out through the portal when there's any changes. Let's see. I see Janet jumped on. Do we have any questions? And you can feel free to unmute yourself.
I'm going to ask about the bill so we can clarify any confusion. So we were really working towards a bill that kind of carved us out a little bit, right, from the bigger, and that's how it was named, was that how, I guess I'm just trying to get everybody else on board with what that looked like with, you know, Tammy and Janet with, I know you guys were working with Eileen Doherty on this, and I know with Senator Janal, but can you clarify a little bit more information, especially if many of us are going to start making phone calls to try to, I mean, we need that everybody needs that information so we can better prepare to contact these people.
So I can share
give an
limited
update.
information.
And I can give an update on that too. Tamara, you go first.
Okay, so I can only share limited information because I was told not to like tip my whole entire hand. But basically, we are looking at statute change to try to force the hand of CDPHE to look at us as a separate entity. And so the title of the bill is under housing, hold on, housing issues or something, because in a sense it is. Yeah, senior housing issues, because we know that if we're not around to provide affordable care, people are going to be either homeless or pushed into skilled nursing facilities prematurely. So the hope is that if we can carve out our own separate statute, that we will no longer be, because right now the regulations are kind of a maximization of what the statute is. It has a lot of area for interpretation by the health department, and they have maximized every angle they can to make these rules pretty onerous. And so the hope is that while the current statute is pretty vague and allows CDPHE to kind of run wild, we want to create something a little more detailed so that there's less ability for them to interpret what they will from the statute. So I guess that's kind of in a nutshell what we're hoping to do. Because we had so many things coming at one time, we didn't have a lot of organization time to find a sponsor until like the first of the year. And so while we thought we had a pretty good scenario with running a late bill, we've hit a couple hiccups. So we're hoping if we can put some pressure on the president and the majority leader, that we can maybe get them to add a late bill with somebody. And our goal would really be to have multiple sponsors so that CDPHE realizes that we are an association to be reckoned with. Does that help, Rachel?
I can give a little bit more update on it too. This is Janet Cornell. And I have looked at several other guidelines for other states just to see how does Colorado compare for the smaller group homes compared to California, Florida, Arizona, and Ohio, and now I'm on Texas. So I picked California, Florida, and Arizona because they have a huge senior population because of the warm weather. And then Ohio has a lot of group homes. So I looked at those, and our regulations are by far a lot stricter than those. So they have a lot more leniency. They're a lot more, it's not that they're not regulated, they just don't have all the food safety, for example. They don't have all, all the burdensome regs that we have. Those other states don't have those. So what I'm trying to show is that Colorado's regulations right now as written that will go into effect in June are a little overreaching and they're cumbersome for all of us to operate under. So that was my task on the Government Relations Committee. And so if anybody wants a summary of those, I'll be happy to tag them, or you can email me through CALA and I can give you some updates on those, and then we can go from there.
And I think one of the areas that we did look at, just for an example, as sort of being overreach and burdensome to our industry, is if you just even look at the fee structure. And the fee structure is top heavy on the small assisted living, where we pay a higher disproportionate rate of fees compared to larger facilities, with the supposed lower overhead than larger facilities. And I think, I'm not really sure where that misnomer came from, but that's one area we looked at. We looked at kitchen guidelines. We looked at training for staff. We looked at administrator training and how we could break that down to make more sense. And so just areas like that. And if you have more questions, I can try to answer them as well.
Great.
Something I'm going to add really fast is we have also contacted our senators before in the past, and it has made a huge difference. So please understand, if you guys just have a moment of your time, and the more they hear where our issues are, and the more they'll support, and there will be a change. So please understand it does speak volumes when we call.
Well, I think it would be really helpful if you could email out to everybody, you know, the elevator speech that you would like us to, you know, make our mission to help make them address it. I think that would be helpful for everyone on the call. If we all had a singular, you know, understanding of, you know, what we were supposed to say.
Thank you for that. Could
Work on that tonight and get that on the website.
Great. Thank you, Tamara.
I think we'll also send it out to everybody too, Tammy, don't you think? And Janet, I think it'll be wise that we do that.
Sure, I'll give it to Peter.
We'll get that emailed out and we'll also put it on the website so that everyone can have access. That's great. Awesome. Do we have any other questions? Does the board have any other comments?
I'll speak real quick. Peter and I were talking earlier, as an effort to better communicate between and collaborate with provider members and associate members of CALA, we'll be sending out a survey for the provider members just as a ask to know what you all are needing as services and things like that, either different bids or want some more information on, just to get a better idea how to connect you to other folks within the industry, either our associate members or folks outside to bring them into CALA, but just to, again, to better communicate between those two sides as well. And we're also creating an associate member quarterly meeting that will be the end of the month. So I think the last week of February will be the first one. And so that will be a good way for us to collaborate and build some ideas together as well. So.
That's going to be super exciting. I also wanted to update everyone on something exciting that we've been working on. And I know the board has continually been talking about it, but we are creating a survey tracking tool that we'll start using on the CALA website. It's completely anonymous, but we would love, as you get surveyed, once we have this tool up and running, we will be talking about it and doing a little bit of a process of how to do it during conference. But we would love if individuals would enter maybe what deficiencies they're seeing, who their surveyor was, how you solved the deficiencies with the plan of correction, and then also the cost involved to become compliant. These are things we're tracking, one, because we'd really like to use them to bring up concerns with the health department and with HCPF, but also so that maybe we can create a database of plan of corrections that we know work and have been accepted by the department, so that we can not have to recreate the wheel every single time we are having to do a plan of correction. So that's something we're really super excited about. You'll be hearing more about it, so please watch your emails, because in order to get really good data, we are going to need a lot of individuals to use it. We are going to make it super user-friendly, but we just ask you to take a little bit of time to do that. But we know you guys are all super busy. We just think it's going to be vital information.
Well, and to piggyback on that, you know, we want to, with that, also what we want to do is we want to kind of get an idea, not just who the bad surveyors are, quote, and also who the good surveyors are. So that way, when we go to CDPHE, we can say, okay, you know, there's been one surveyor that's out there. He's been amazing. He's worked with everybody. He's doing really good. We've got another one that maybe needs a little bit more training or more education. We're seeing a lot of consistencies and things that maybe not be in the rules or the regs. They're more like implied or more gray. So they're really willing to work with us on this. And I think that that's going to be really helpful. You know, they do have 12 new surveyors that they have hired. And so, you know, they're going to be some pretty green people that are going to be coming out there. And my suggestion to everybody is, you know, if you're not sure, ask them to show you. Show me in the regulations. Educate me on where that is. I want to know where is that regulation. There's been many people I've been talking to on the phone, And it's like, that's not a reg, that's not a rule, you know, but they told me. So, you know, just kind of, you know, especially with the newer ones, you know, have them show, because everybody, we all know it's gray. But, you know, I just think it helps. You know, there's been some deficiencies that really shouldn't have been deficiencies, but people don't know. So if you have a question, or you can always in the middle of a survey, if you figure that your surveyor might be being a little hostile or you're really not comfortable, get on the phone, tell them you want to talk to Dee, get on the phone. You know, I mean, you don't have to, if you're uncomfortable or you don't think it's right, you know, have them make those phone calls for you, and don't be afraid to do it.
And also, I know Peter put together a really great forum on CALA's website where you guys can ask any questions, and that's going to be available to everyone until the end of, I believe, the end of March, or I think it's just for members though. But it's a Q&A forum, and basically no question is not, every question is important, and no question is stupid. That's what I want to say. So if you know you have something or something that came up, please go to the website, and Peter just put up that link, and ask that question. And all of us who, the board and CALA members, you all could be part of that open discussion. It'll all help us, and especially with what we've learned over the years.
Great. Well, as always, thank you everyone for logging on, taking your time to be part of our town halls. We really want to be open and try and get answers in a timely manner to all these questions. So we really, really appreciate you taking your time. Please reach out to CALA if you have any questions or concerns, and we will get you the answers as fast as possible. But I think that wraps up our town hall. Unless anybody has any last minute thoughts or questions, I know I personally just appreciate your time.
Yeah, I did. I just want to reemphasize that we really need people to join CALA or to get active with writing the senators and the legislature to push this legislation through, to show them that there is concern out here. And if you know other owners, other administrators at small assisted livings that maybe are too busy or don't take the time to listen into these town halls, if you can communicate with them and tell them what we're doing and how important this is to all of our business, that would be very helpful, because the more people that we can represent and the more people that show up and send letters and emails, that's a lot of pressure to put on the legislators to do something. So that's what we want to do here, is we want to tell them that, hey, there's a problem and we need to do something about it. So please let everybody know and spread the word. Thank you.
I have one more comment. I believe, Peter, you can nod your head on this. You posted the Senate hearing, the YouTube recording of the Senate hearing in 2018 for the resolution on the website.
It's not on the website yet. I can add it to the website. It's not on YouTube right now.
Okay. When it gets posted, I would encourage you to click. Sorry?
I was just gonna, I went to the forum and I have a question. If you click subscribe, what are you subscribing to? And is the question number 1 and question number 2 just a sample? You will actually have real topics so you can see what they are?
Those are just samples so you can see, and then you can subscribe to any updates. So if someone updates it or there's a reply, then you'll get a notification.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Thank you.
And I wanted to offer, if I will type up a summary sheet from the states that I looked at for their regulations, so you can see an overall view of why their regs are more lenient than ours, and why our suspicions that, you know, our regs are pretty tough, why our suspicions are kind of coming to fruition when we look at other states. But I'll be happy to do that.
Isn't that the staff at CDPHE?
No, I looked at regulations from other states, so I'll be happy to write up a summary based on the other states.
Okay.
And what the regulations look like and how we're kind of more strict than they are. Not kind of, a lot.
Thank you.
And I can share with you that I sent an email to CDPHE just kind of asking questions about survey sample size and time of surveys. And what I got back, and I'm clarifying some of this, is for a facility of 8 beds or less, we would be looking at a sample size of 50% or more. And the average length of time is between 1 and 3 days for the survey process, with an average of 2 days. What I don't know is if that's all on-site surveys, but typically for most of the small assisted living, it's been like a 4 to 6 hour process for them to be on site. So we'll see. I'll share more information as I hear about that, but that just kind of lends to the over zealous approach from the surveyors right now. And the other thing I just wanted to mention,
with these surveyors, I've heard through some of the membership calls, like I hear a lot of people getting resurveyed just on the COVID isolation plan, more so too. And that's triggering. It seems like a lot more digging for some of these places too.
yeah, that gives them a key to the door. Peter just posted, and I would encourage you to listen to it. If you've never been a part of a legislative process, it's very enlightening. You can also read the script of it. But this was back in 2018, before these current regulations were initially adopted, and where we had
You're cutting out again.
multiple senators and canvassed in the session. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
This is a recording of that hearing, and so you'll hear the senators talking and how they are. There's one senator who is definitely not on our side, and a couple of senators who are very supportive, and so it really will show you how important it is to communicate with the legislators.
Hey, Tamara, I don't know if this will help or not, but when I had my background video on like that, I was breaking up a lot too, so I took it off and it helped.
We have been hearing that the health department is currently focusing on complaint surveys. They did let us know that right now they're getting a lot of complaints. Janelle and I are hoping to figure out and get more information regarding what type of complaints they are getting calls for, so that we can educate everyone in regards to that too. So they're not really out in force doing surveys as of yet. I'm sure part of that is they have agreed not to come into our facilities if you're doing a vaccination clinic. So I'm sure they're kind of waiting for all of us to kind of get through our vaccination clinics, but we will definitely keep you apprised on when we start to hear that the surveyors are going to start coming out in force. Randy Kirkendall did promise Janelle and I that the checklist that the surveyors get and bring into the homes to do surveys, that they will share that with us once they get that kind of concretely finished. They did preface that by saying, know that this is just kind of an outline, that there are other things that we might survey for, or we might, if our attention is drawn to something specific, you know, we might look at it and it might not be on the list, but it would be a good outline for us to start to work off of and make sure that we're compliant with everything in Chapter 7 when they start to come out the middle of June and right deficiencies.
I know something that was mentioned in our group was updating your COVID isolation plan. If you guys have not looked at those, it's probably a good idea to start just kind of looking at it, just because we still aren't out of the woods, and we won't be for a while yet with COVID. I know a lot of our staff who have taken the vaccine, and there's a lot of staff who haven't taken the vaccine, and that goes also for residents. I know not everybody's sold on the vaccine at this point. So it's really important to make sure you are up to date, because I'm sure they, you know, if they do walk in, they're going to want to see that too.
Excellent. Well, again, thank you so much. If you have any questions, just please email CALA and we will get you the answers. And we appreciate your time so very much and your support.
Thank you all for coming.
Bye-bye.
Have a great day, everybody.
Eileen, you jumped on later. Thanks, Melody, for joining us. You jumped on later, and Christine gave an update. So I don't know if you heard that.
No, I did not.
Okay. So basically, she shared that the leadership is who denied the late bill, and that we need to reach out to Garcia and Fenberg. Fenberg's from Boulder, Garcia's from Pueblo. So if we know anybody in those areas, that would be helpful. But to really push them to consider, reconsider the senior housing issue. Did you get any phone calls back?
Did I get any phone calls back?
Mm-hmm.
No, when I just tried about 20 minutes ago to call, I'm actually writing the letter to Fenberg right now,
Okay.
to his scheduler.
Okay.
And I don't know why. I do want to try to call Janelle because I want to find out from her. I'm going to send this anyway, but I'm not going to hold off, but I want to find out why he denied her. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Because what I'm pitching right now is regulatory relief to small businesses, specifically in this time of COVID.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Pueblo. So the Boulder guy, but I knew I had seen that Fenberg was from Boulder. This Alex Garnett, I have met him a couple times, or not Garnett, Garcia.
Leroy Garcia.
Yeah, Garnett is the guy from Denver who's in the house side. And we might have better luck going on the house side, actually.
Okay.
I wonder if Zeninger or one of those people who have carried some aging stuff previously would be open to this. That's going to be the challenge, is finding somebody who cares about aging. I don't know, let me work on it for a little bit. Nicole, do you have any ideas?
No.
Okay.
I can look
Now
back.
that Julie McCaslin or whatever her name is from Summit County that you met with one time.
Yes.
Do you think she has any, it's worth talking to her?
She might. And then there was also, who's at a Grand Junction? That was someone else that we spoke to that was really interested in possibly supporting something.
So maybe we just write a letter to everybody.
Nope. We try to get a meeting. No? We try to get a meeting. Time is of the essence here.
Yeah. Okay.
If you think of the Grand Junction person's name, Nicole, let's figure that out. I don't think this Julie would carry it. She's from the Joint Budget Committee, but she might at least be willing to give us the light of day.
I think anyone to give us some face time, ear time, whatever.
Yeah. So anyway, so I was,
Hey,
I
Jeff,
have,
Yes,
Jeff, sorry, will you give Dennis the link to this call? He's waiting to get on the GRC call. Would you text him this
I'm-
call?
sure.
I'm going to close this down in a second because I got to jump on another call. So
You want me
Okay,
to send out a new one?
yeah, why don't you do that?
Okey doke.
And then we can all jump on. Peter, you're going to party.
What's the matter with
Sorry.
you? What's the matter with you, Peter?
so
He's cheating
sorry.
on us. He's cheating
Peter,
on
And
us.
Irene?
thank you for getting all of our issue. Thank you for just doing everything we're asking of you to do. It's like, Peter, this, Peter, that. Can you do this? Can you do
You're like,
Peter, could you?
are
And then
you
can
magic? Here, do this. Oh, let me just get my pixie dust out.
Are you a
Dust.
wizard?
Woo!
All right, I'll send out a new one.
Doing well.
We need to have jokes or something to spark up our audience on these because nobody was really very engaged. I want more spark.
engagement?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Are
a
we
huge
gonna-
crowd.
are we
There's a
gonna-
lot
I
of
still think
people.
people are tired.
Let's do a raffle.
Tired of Zoom meetings. We could do a raffle. Oh,
And they
Eileen
would
left. I was going to
a
ask
lot
her
of
if she got any mail, any call a mail.
Oh, she'll jump on the GRC call and
Yeah.
I'll ask her if she has
Ask
an
her if
email.
she's, yeah, especially if she got any call a checks that I need to come pick up.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
See you guys on the next
Peter,
call.
are you guys? Peter, is Carol or who's taking care of the invoicing? Is it both of you guys
Carol.
or?
Carol.
Carol.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sounds good.
Thanks, Pete.
Thank you.
See you guys.